Hello and welcome to another Planet Destiny video. If you're like me, you saw the new vendor stuff, well, the old vendor stuff with new gear, and you said, oh my god, there's some really good rolls. So in this video, we're going to be going over every single weapon and going over all the new rolls on all of the gear. So first up, the Righteous 7. There we go, Roman numerals. First off, having perfect balance and counterbalance on this particular archetype of auto rifle is really good. I was using this auto rifle earlier today without any upgrades. It already felt really stable. You can also use reinforced barrel here as well to get a really high range stat. Pretty good roll overall. The Appellant is another decent roll. We have a range boost with hand loaded here. Small bore, I've never liked reducing mag size, especially on fast rate of fire hand cannons. Rifled barrel, that's the way to go though for a really nice range boost. Then you have Last Resort and Hidden Hand. It's an okay PvP hand cannon, but I'm not a fan of the damage type in PvP because it takes 2 headshots in one body shot, or it takes more headshots than the ever so slightly the Hawkmoon variety of hand cannon. So why bother, in my opinion? Although this is a really good range stat, decent perks as well. Okay, next up we have the Conviction 2. I can read that Roman numeral. You're gonna want to use Sure Shot with this one. Rangefinder. Rangefinder on sidearms is one of the best rolls that you can have because you're always going to aim with them anyway. They have such high equip and then aim down sight speeds that you might as well always aim them. With this particular roll, a Pendant magazine is the way to go. The slower reload on these types, who cares? This is one of the best sidearms that you could possibly get from a vendor. It's not in the Havoc Pigeon variety, it's in the faster rate of fire one. Still kills in the same number of shots. If you're looking for a sidearm, the Conviction 2 from New Monarchy, probably the best one you can possibly get right now. Okay, for shotguns, if this roll was on any other shotgun, it would be amazing. We have Field Choke and aggressive ballistics to up the damage, Field Choke to give you a little more impact as well. The main problem is this is one of the faster rate of fire, lower impact types. And even though you have all this really good range, it's just not going to be hitting as hard in either PvE or PvP. Just the overall use of it with that rate of fire and impact, not a huge fan of it. I unfortunately pass on this one. We have the 16, yeah, and Antinomy 16. Surplus. Expect to find more ammo for this weapon. Always really good to have on a sniper rifle, in my opinion. Partial refund. Returns a portion of the magazine after an assist. Good for both PvE and PvP. And then Quick Draw, personal favorite, or you can go for Injection Mold to up the stability some. This can res snipe now. This is in that class that can res snipe due to the due to the res shield changes. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of this little rifle here. It's not like god tier, but it's a really good, just all around sniper rifle. Surplus, great for PvE. You're always going to be picking up more ammo, especially with the ammo changes done to sniper pretty much all secondaries in the game right now. This is good. Final one that we can get here, the Objection 4. Counterbalance, baby. This will increase the weapon stability, making it completely vertical. It does increase like the up and down, or the amount that it jumps up, but it's completely vertical, so that's very easy to correct for. Right here we have Oiled Frame and Small Bore. One for small bore, not a fan. Reducing magazine size on machine guns, just no. Oiled frame, faster reload, but that does cost range. You do have rangefinder, which will increase the range some. If you're gonna start stacking range, go all in on this. Don't really mess around too much with oiled frame. Although a faster reload on this particular type of machine gun will be pretty good. I think you can probably squeeze by using Field Choke and rangefinder together. This is another really solid machine gun for void damage if you're looking for one of those. So this auto rifle, this sidearm, and this machine gun are pretty strong picks for me. All right, moving on over to the Crucible weapons. This archetype of auto rifle did get buffed in this patch, and I was a fan of this one last patch because crowd control on this type is just really good. With the damage buff, even better. The inclusion of counterbalance and braced frame, whew, that is a really solid roll. The only thing I'm concerned about is this does reduce the magazine size. High caliber rounds and speed reload, they're okay to use as well. The base range and stability are okay. Stability is what I'm iffy on there. It is kind of low, but counterbalance makes this very easy to correct for. Antipodal Hindsight, higher impact variety of auto rifles. Again, we have Hidden Hand, Fitted stock, injection mold, rifled barrel to up the range some. Rodeo, Rodeo's okay. It seems to remove a lot of the vertical recoil, leaving side to side, and that's a lot more difficult to correct for on consoles since you only have your thumbstick to try to do all your looking around with. All of these perks are really good. Use whichever one you're most comfortable with, but Rodeo feels like an empty perk on this rifle. This is just... Bungie, why you do this? This is one of the best possible weapons that you can get. Great target acquisition, really easy to shoot with. We have fitted stock for an increase in stability. We have counterbalance on this type of pulse rifle, makes it just have completely vertical recoil. And then we have small bore to increase both range and stability. You get a slower reload and a reduced magazine size, but it doesn't matter since you're going to be so accurate. Pick this one up if you are looking for a PvP pulse rifle, as this archetype didn't get touched at all. Moving on over to the last extremity, we have triple tap and Zen Moment together. Zen Moment definitely helps out with that lower stability on this rifle. Casket mag, ugh. Having a larger magazine in conjunction with triple tap is really good, but that just really hurts your stability all around. And surrounded perk, yeah, I'd pass on this scout rifle, truthfully. I'd pass on it. Byrionic Hero. Man, this is actually looking to be a pretty good roll. We have True Sight Standard, which is fantastic. Snapshot, okay. Luck in the Chamber, fantastic. Byrionic Hero is overall a really good hand cannon. This particular roll, though, I'd pass on it. Underdog is just so unappealing, and you really want a range boost. You really want to get something like a rangefinder and then rifled barrel. We have the Fanta Ray coming in with rangefinder. We also have enhanced battery to up that magazine size, and then we have rifled barrel here as well to up the range even further. If you guys are wondering why I like range on fusion rifles, is because it does increase the aim assist, and it helps out with, your grouping a little bit more. This is a really good fusion rifle. Sadly, I don't think it's the best though from the fusion rifles that we've seen on the vendors, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. This is a tier 2 choice for fusion rifles. Moving on over to the next big thing, shotgun. Hey, you guys like farming Omnigul? This is your shotgun to farm Omnigul with. You got crowd control, so it gives you a damage bump. We have full auto, which is just fantastic. This is the perfect rate of fire shotgun to make use of that. Then, having stability increases is kind of whatever, in my opinion. But we do have single point sling to switch weapons faster too, so there we go. The Havoc Pigeon. Unfortunately, the god roll that we had last time is no more. Reactive reload is really good to give you a nice damage bump after, killing something. And Relentless Tracker, that perk's just kind of meh to me. True Sight is the best possible sight that you could really get on these as well, though. Quick Draw, really good. Appended magazine, up the magazine size. Hand loaded. These are the same perks that were on the old one as well. I'd probably go with hand loaded or Quick Draw if you're going to use it. Tao Ho Yan. I'd probably mispronounce that and offended someone. We have life support. Really good now. By the way, if this is a 16 impact, I'm pretty sure that can actually res snipe now. I just checked. Yes, this can res snipe. Thank you very much. Fallout Plays for that information. Overall, this roll is okay. Life support's kind of meh, but this one isn't doing anything for me. I'm pretty sure there's better sniper rifles out there right now. The Ruin Wake. Hey, remember that machine gun we saw in New Monarchy? This seems really familiar. This is essentially the exact same gun, except we have brace frame and armor-piercing rounds as these bottom two perks here. High caliber round staggered targets. That's good. Then use either smooth or... No, I'd use field choke. That does up the impact ever so slightly. So, what I said about the objection rifle from New Monarchy, same thing goes here. Really solid roll. I'm glad to see Bungie using rangefinder and counterbalance in conjuncture on a lot of machine guns this time around. The final thing that we have is the Smolder. Okay, first off, the base stats of this thing is just god-awful. You have a really poor velocity. The reload speed's good, the rate of fire is really good, but the blast radius is just god-awful. Even if you hit some stuff, it's not going to do a lot of damage. Fortunately, you can make up for that by upping the amount of rockets that you can hold in the tube, so you can have 3 in there. Yeah! For must-have weapons, Hawksaw! Hawksaw! Get that Hawksaw! If you're looking for like the hung jury of this time, it's the Hawksaw this round. Get this one. Alright, moving over to our friends here at Dead Orbit. Paleo Contact JPK-43. This is another really good auto rifle, just like the Righteous one on the New Monarchy side. However, this particular roll, not as solid. Icarus is an interesting thing to have on auto rifles. It does allow for a lot more mobile play, perfect balance as an inclusion here, nearly max stability with Icarus. This rifle does still feel a little bit all over the place, in my opinion. Icarus is okay, but you need to want to use Icarus on an auto rifle. You can't just pick this gun up and you're going to immediately be able to do good with it. So for the hung jury, the god roll is no more. However, this does make for a very, very solid PvP roll. We have both life support and third eye on here, so you're always going to be able to see down your sights, and then, you know, life support will occasionally save your life if you get down into the red. We have the Hitchhiker FR4 fusion rifle. See that impact? That's kind of crazy, guys. We have Hidden Hand to further up the target acquisition. Brace Frame to just jack the stability up. Then we have Hot Swap, so you can swap to this thing and you're gonna have a massive bump from Hidden Hand plus Hot Swap plus this sight. This is a really solid fusion rifle, but it's still not the best that you can get from the fusion rifles available on the vendors. For shotguns, we have the Patch A. Okay archetype. We have a range increase there and there. Rifled barrel, a further range increase. We have final round to deal more bonus damage. It's still not going to outperform like the standard conspiracy theory that everyone got from completing that quest. We have the Extra Solar RR4 sniper rifle. For scopes, we have the Sightsys, very long distance scope, Longview SLR-10, personal favorite, and Ambush SLH-25. A little more agile, does up the stability on it. Partial refund is, it's okay on sniper rifles. I'd pass on this one. Ceres Lost BMJ 46. A lot better stats than the Smolder. We have Grenadier, Fitted Stock, Single Point Sling, and Snapshot. All fairly worthless perks. We're just going to throw that out there. Cluster Bomb causes the rockets to detonate. That's fun. That's cool, but you know, it doesn't have proximity to it doesn't have tracking. It's okay, but there's better out there. Alright, so Vanguard for the answering cord. We have Spray and Play as the main perk. We have Reinforced Barrel, because if you like having stability, no you don't need stability at all if you use Reinforced Barrel. It's sarcasm, by the way. That completely nukes your stability stat. That would make this thing very difficult to shoot with. Now, you know what? This one is god-awful. Just don't even consider it. We have Questing Beast, a much better version. Oh, look at this. It actually has stability on it. Glass half full with Fitted Stock. That's actually pretty good. Spray and Play. Increase the reload speed when the mag is empty. With a kind of low mag size, you're going to be taking use of that pretty often, especially in conjunction with Glass Half Full. Overall, this is a really solid auto rifle that you have here. The Apple of Discord. Basically, this is the exact same role almost that they had last time. We have Head Seeker, which is fantastic on this particular type of pulse rifle. We have Counterbalance to make it a completely up and down recoil, so you can land all those shots. Basically aim kind of at their neckish area, and then Head Seeker's going to proc on 3 headshots. It's pretty good. Counterbalance makes that easy to do. We do have hand loaded for a range increase, snapshot, or reinforced barrel for a huge range increase. I'd use just normal hand loaded here for a range increase. You don't want to mess with the stability on this one at all. I'm a fan of it. Head Seeker and Counterbalance on this make for a really good one. If you're looking for an interesting one to try out, pick this up. Not like the others. So we have Who's Next, Casket Mag, and Third Eye. You know what? This is nowhere near as good as the older Vanguard one, so hopefully you picked that up. Slightly improved optics. The sights on this, they're okay. This really isn't doing anything. So, for the Down and Doubt. So, is this a range increase? Is this a range increase? Okay, so basically the stats don't, or the perks don't matter on this one because the base range of this type is god-awful. Yeah, you can get extended mag, you can get triple tap, you can get mulligan. All this is really good, but that range stat is so low, and the rate of fire is in the higher variant, it doesn't matter. Long Far Gone Fusion Rifle, another one with Hidden Hand here. We have improved aim assist. More from this, we have accelerated coils to up that charge rate, or enhanced battery to up the magazine, and then we have Hot Swap. This is actually very, very familiar to one that we just saw at Dead Orbit, but it's a completely different archetype of fusion rifle. So you know I like this sight plus Hidden Hand and Hot Swap. That is a very deadly combination. An interesting roll, not the best that's out there right now. We'll get to that, don't worry. The Yabberhake. Crowd Control, Battle Runner. That is a very fun perk to have on a sidearm. And then we have Feather Mag to increase reload. Nah. Speed Reload. Skip rounds. This is kind of a wash for this last perk here. These two are very fun together, crowd control and battle runner, but you really want like a range increase over here. Conspiracy theory D, we got performance bonus, reinforced barrel. Do we have another range increase? We do. We have Salt Ballistics. That is a very massive range stat supporting this one. It doesn't happen to have rangefinder, but that's okay. Especially for a PvE-minded shotgun. If you're trying to get in close, shotguns aren't what they once were. They don't put out as much damage. Life support definitely helps get your health back some. The 1,000-yard stare. Oh, God, Bungie, why you do this? Long VSLR, the only redeeming scope is the ambush on this one. We have Underdog, which is god-awful on sniper rifles. Ronnie 5530, you should be ashamed for selling this. We have the Diluvian, 10/4X. Aggressive ballistics on a machine gun is always awesome. If these are some different perks on here, maybe, but no. This is not a good roll. Don't waste. And then finally, we have the Choleric Dragon SRT-49. Hey, look, it actually has a good blast radius stat. That's good. And then we have Smart Drift Control or Countermass. Probably Countermass to just help out with the velocity, still keep a pretty high blast radius. Cluster Bombs, pretty good. Life support on a rocket launcher? Oh, that's interesting. So really, on the Vanguard vendor, there's nothing that's an absolute must-buy. Alright, the final vendor that we're taking a look at here, Lakshmi from the Future War Cult. We have the Vanity Hand Cannon, no longer with Luck in the Chamber and Firefly, but this time with Third Eye, Rifled Barrel, which is fantastic on a hand cannon, and life support. This is a really solid PvP rolled hand cannon. I definitely look at this one. Out of all the hand cannons that I've seen today, this is one that you'd want for PvP and probably PvE as well. It'll give you the most consistent experience with that really good range stat. The Villainy. This is the pulse rifle that you have been waiting for if you don't like the Hawksaw type. This is a little bit slower. If you like Nerwin's Mercy, there's another really good one. We have a suite of very good sights here. We have Headseeker, so you know that's good on a pulse rifle. We have Perfect Balance to up the stability. These other things, they really don't matter. We have this trifecta of Perfect Balance, Headseeker, and Glass Half Full. This pulse rifle is really good. We're not really done here. We have this kind of bleh fusion rifle here. Okay, sights, hip fire is okay. Eye of the Storms, blah, brace frame, cool. You can up the stability, but it's not worth it when you have the vacancy. Look at this, hot swap to improve the accuracy. We have brace frame for completely max stability. This thing is going to be a dream to shoot. And then we have rangefinder to up the effective range, aka it helps out with the aim assist a bunch on this one. This is one of the best possible rolled fusion rifles out there. And then we have the variable with aggressive ballistics, speed reload, oiled frame, armor piercing rounds, army of one. And then finally, we have the Vertigo with reactive reload. So on a rocket launcher, that's completely wasted. We have Flared Magwell for better reload. We have Javelin to increase the velocity. So this is a good base stats with like aggressive launch, aggressive launch and Javelin together for a really nice velocity. But just reactive reload's stupid on a rocket launcher. It just really is. So absolute must-have weapons: Vanity, Villainy, and the Vacancy. Those are fantastic guns, worth switching to. Pick them up.